Hello there and welcome back to this video about the object class where we will talk about the equals and hash code. So in the previous video we talked about a toString and we can provide this representation that is very good. There is also the very handy method called equals that works a bit together with hash code also, but we have the option of getting an indication whether an object is equal to this one. So if we make a demonstration, now we have two persons here. They have their own ID and name. If we do a system out println here, we can see that if we write are p1 and p2 the same, and we just write p equals p2. Let's have a look here what happens. So it says are p1 and p2 the same? It says false, so they're not the same, and that makes sense because they have different IDs and different names. But Java is not using the ID or the name to determine if they are the same. Right now, we can see if we run the hash code for p1 and p2. So now I'm printing out the toString and the hash code for both of them. Let me just check. We got the toString here. Let's see. So we get different addresses or different hash codes for each object. Let me just make this a little bit more prettier, I think. So they are on the same line here. Let's have a look now. Yes, so now we get the toString and we get the hash code afterwards. We can see they're not the same. So that makes sense, that equals return false. But let's say that we have a case where we are loading this data from another source, maybe from a database or a file or something. And let's say, for instance, that they have the same data contained in them. So now we have two different persons with the same information. So the same ID and the same name. So we can see if we run the code again here. It's the same information, different hash code. It has their own memory address, of course, because they're two independent objects. So equals return false still, but there might be a case where I want to change this behavior so I can say that these two objects are in fact the same because it has the same ID, the same name, and so on and so forth. And how can we do that? Well, we go to the person class again here. We have the option. Let's see if I can do this. Not that. So we can have IntelliJ help us implement or override the equals and hash code, just like we did with the toString. And yes, then IntelliJ wants to help me a little bit here. IntelliJ default. That seems to be okay. Let's see. And then it will tell me, what do you want to base your equals method on? Is it the ID, the name, both? Let's just have the ID. So if two persons has the same ID, they should be equal. Yes, let's just take this code here. There will be more information later on about the hash code as well. But let's just focus on this. So now IntelliJ has created some code for us, and most importantly, it is about the equals. We can see it is overriding the equals. So now we are providing our own custom implementation of the equals. It is not using the one in the object class. We have our own now. So what it does is that it performs some checks to see if these two objects are the same. So it will get an object, the one we want to compare us against, and it checks if this object is the same as the one we are comparing us with. So this is a just equal sign, meaning this is the method or the object references that we are comparing us. And if they are the same, then it must be the same object because they're pointing to the same memory address. If the one we are comparing us with is null, or if it's not the same class, we return false. Then there cannot be equals. And this also means that if we come down here, it is not null. Then we can convert it to the person class. We can typecast it, we call it. So we want to typecast, change the type of the class to person. And finally, we can make this check down here that says if the ID of this object here is the same as the person, meaning the object we get in the parentheses. If it is the same, then the object must be the same. So this is our custom implementation of the equals method. So let's see what happens here. So now we have the same ID, same name. We're checking the equals. Let's have a look here. So now it says, are they the same? True. So we have customized our equals method to suit our needs. But if we change the ID to 2, so now we have two different persons with the same name, but they are different persons because they have different IDs. Let's have a look here. It will say false. Okay, so some examples on how we can use the methods built into the object class and customize them to suit different cases. And one final note here that I forgot to say actually about the toString is we can see here that toString is grayed out and it says unnecessary toString call. And this is because if we don't provide toString, then Java will automatically assume, or it will try to call the toString either on the person class, if there is one, and we have one. If there is not a toString method on the person class, it will go to the object class and use this built-in. Okay, so information about the object class. It is a very, very fundamental class in Java. Everything extends for it. All classes has object as a superclass. So it is a very important class to know about. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you make this work. Have fun with this. Bye-bye.